Good morning, my dear students. Today, we'll discuss about the Schedule T, good manufacturing practice of Indian system of medicine. So let us start with the good manufacturing practice or GMP. Good manufacturing practice or GMP is set of regulations, codes, and guidelines for the manufacture of drug substances and drug products, medical devices, in vivo and in vitro diagnostic products, and foods. GMP is a production and testing practice that helps to ensure a quality product. GMP guidelines are not prescriptive instructions on how to manufacture products, but these are series of general principles that must be observed during manufacturing. When a company is setting up its quality program or manufacturing process, there may be many ways it can fulfill GMP requirements. It is the company's responsibility to determine the most effective and efficient quality process. In India, GMP was introduced under Schedule M as an amendment to Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945 in 1988. Then after this Schedule T was introduced for specifications for ISM drugs, that is Indian System of Medicine drugs. This schedule was further elaborated in June 2000, which specify the GMP features to be followed for the ISM drugs, Indian System of Medicine drugs. So teaching institutes and registered qualified Vaidyas, Siddhars and Hakims who prepare medicines on their own to dispense to their patients and not selling such drugs, the market are exempted from the purview of the Schedule T. There is also provision issuance of GMP certificate after proper inspection of the unit. This GMP certificate has validity for 2 years from the date of issuance. So what are the main objectives of the GMP? The GMP practices for the Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani drugs, nothing but ASU drugs, also called as Indian System of Medicines. And this ASU drugs described in Rule 157 of Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945 with conditions as specified in Schedule T. So GMP objectives are the implementation of the GMP ensures total quality assurance covering all the spheres in manufacturing system. These are highlighted raw material and finished products, their authenticity, quality, freedom from the foreign matter and contamination. Manufacturing process conforms to prescribed quality standards, adoption of adequate quality control measures, and documentation, methodologies and procedures for the reference and inspection. So components of GMP schedule for Indian System Medicines manufacturing units is quite elaborate and broadly covers each and every component of manufacturing process, and different components of GMP are given below. So they are raw materials used in the manufacture of drugs are authentic, of prescribed quality and are free from contamination, and the manufacturing processes has been prescribed to maintain the standards. Adequate quality control measures are to be adopted, and the manufactured drug which is released for sale is of acceptable quality. And to achieve the objectives above, each licensee shall evolve methodology and procedures for following the prescribed process of manufacture of drugs, which should be documented as manual and kept for reference and inspection. So what's the main objective of the GMP? GMP objective is a guarantee high quality products to the consumer. And here, what is the importance of GMP? So here you can compare with the conventional pharmaceutical products. So one side conventional pharmaceutical products, and other side our ASU drugs or ISM drugs, nothing but the allopathy, Siddha, Unani drugs. So comparison between these two. So conventional pharmaceutical products, which are usually prepared or produced from the synthetic materials by means of reproducible manufacturing techniques and procedures, and whereas our ASU drugs or medicines are mainly prepared from the materials of herbal origin, which are often obtained from the varied geographical and commercial sources. So as a result of, it may not always be possible to ascertain the conditions to which they may have been subjected. So comparison with the conventional pharmaceutical products, so the ASU drugs or ISM drugs will have a disadvantage in that. So because of, since they are obtaining from the plant sources and mainly they are varied from the geographical and commercial sources, so we can't expect as on par with the pharmaceutical products. So these good manufacturing practices under Schedule T are classified to two parts. So that is part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is mainly having the factory premises, general requirements, location, building, and water supply, disposal of waste, containers for cleaning, stores, raw materials, and packaging materials, finished goods, workspace, health, clothing, and sanitation and hygiene of the workers, medical services, machinery and equipments, batch manufacture records, distribution of records, record of market complaints, and quality control parameters, and requirements for sterile product and standard operating procedures. These are all comes under part 1, and part 2 is mainly category of medicine, what type of medicine we are manufacturing. Say, for example, Ayurvedic formulations like Basma, Asava, Arishta, Taila, Churna, Leha, Avaleha, all these things are the Ayurvedic formulations. How much area is required to manufacture all these Ayurvedic formulations? Area is you have to mention here, and machinery equipments recommended. So what type of instruments are recommended, equipments are required for the manufacturing of these Ayurvedic formulations? So these, all these things comes under the part 2 under GMP. So let us start with the first part 1, good manufacturing practices. Part 1, GMP. One is the factory premises, and the manufacturing plant should have an adequate space for receiving and storing raw material, and manufacturing process areas, quality control section, finished goods store, office, rejected goods drugstore. And second one is general requirements. Under general requirements, location and surroundings. So location and surroundings also very important for the GMP. Under part 1, the factory building for manufacture of Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicines or ISM medicines shall be situated and shall have such constructions as to avoid contamination from open sewage, drain, public lavatory or any factory which produces obnoxious odor or fumes or excessive soot, dust or smoke. So we have to see that this location and the surrounding is very important for the manufacturing of the these ASU drugs or ISM drugs. And second one is building. The building used for the factory shall be such as to permit production of drugs under hygienic conditions and should be free from cobwebs and insects and rodents. The premises used for manufacturing, processing, packing, and labeling will be in conformity with the provisions of the Factory Act. It shall be located so as to be so compatible with other manufacturing operations that may be carried out in the same or adjacent premises, and advocately provided with the working space to allow orderly and logical placement of equipment and the materials to avoid the risk of mix up between the different drugs or components thereof and control the possibility of cross-contamination by other drugs or substances and avoid the risk of omission of the manufacturing or control step. So during the you have to provide the adequate workspace to the placement of the equipment and materials where you have to keep the equipment and materials, and also sometimes mix up between the different drugs or components, and also control the possibility of the cross contamination by other drug substances or sometimes. So we have to avoid all these things while going for the selection of the buildings and these things. So third one is designed and constructed and maintained to prevent the entry of the insects and rodents. So we have to construct and design properly, and we have to maintain the uh, prevention of the entry of the insects and rodents inside the premises, and we have to take care. And even interior surface shall be smooth, and that interior surface means walls, floors, and ceilings shall be smooth and free from cracks and permit easy cleaning and disinfection. The walls of the room in which the manufacturing operations are carried out shall be impervious to and be capable of being kept clean. The flooring shall be smooth and even and shall be such as not to permit retention or accumulation of dust or waste products. So next is so that is that even we can also provide with the proper drainage system in the processing area. The sanitary fittings and electrical fixtures in the manufacturing area shall be proper and safe, and when furnace section could be covered with the tin roof or proper ventilation, and even there should be fire safety measures and proper exhaust should be uh, there in that particular area. A drain space, there should be separate space for drying of raw material in process medicine or medicines which require drying before packing. This space will be protected from the flies, insects, dust, etc. by proper flooring, wire mesh, windows, glass pans, or other materials should be provided. So next is water supply. So the water used in manufacture shall be pure and potable quality. Adequate provisions of water for washing the premises shall be made. And next is disposal of waste from the manufacturing section and laboratories. The wastewater and the residues which might be prejudicial to the workers or public health shall be disposed of after suitable treatment as per the guidelines of pollution control authorities to render them harmless. So next is containers cleaning. So factories where operations involving the use of containers such as glass bottles, vials, and jars are conducted, there shall be adequate arrangements separated from the manufacturing operations for washing, cleaning, and drying of such containers. So next is stores. Storage should have a proper ventilation and shall be free from dampness, and it should provide independent adequate space for storage of different types of material such as raw material, packaging material, and finished products. So all raw materials procured for manufacturing shall be stored in the raw material store. While designing such containers, cabins, or areas in the raw material store, care may be taken to handle the following different categories of raw materials: raw material of metallic origin, raw material of mineral origin, and raw material from animal source, and fresh herbs, dry herbs or plant pots, excipients, and volatiles and perfumes and flavors, and even plant concentrates, exudates, and resins. And each container used for raw material storage shall be properly identified with a label which indicates the name of the raw material, source of supply, and will also clearly state the status of raw material such as under test or approved or rejected. The label shall further indicate and identify the particular supply in the form of batch number or lot number and the date of receipt of the consignment. So next is packaging materials. Packaging materials, all packaging materials such as bottles, jars, capsules, etc. shall be stored properly. All containers and closures shall be adequately cleaned and dried before packing the products. So next is finished goods stores. Finished goods stores, the finished goods transferred from the production area after proper packaging shall be stored in the finished goods stores within an area marked quarantine after the quality control laboratory and the experts have checked the correctness of finished goods with reference to its packing, labeling, as well as finished product quality as prescribed. Then it will be moved to approved finished goods stock area. So after making all these uh, requirements, then we can mention there approved finished goods stock. So since we are maintaining every area with the quarantine, that particular area, we can mention the quarantine and the quality control laboratory, and when experts they'll come and inspect, they'll check and they'll inspect the premises, and they will mention the approved finished goods stock area. So next is workspace, working space. The manufacturing area shall provide adequate space for orderly placement of equipment and material used in any of the operations for which that is employed, so as to facilitate easy and safe working and to minimize or eliminate any risk of mix up between different drugs, raw materials, and to prevent this possibility of cross contamination of one drug by another drug that is manufactured, stored, or handled in the same premises. So next is health, clothing, sanitation, and hygiene of workers. So number one in this is so in the all workers employed in the factory shall be free from contagious diseases. The clothing of workers shall consist of proper uniform suitable to the nature of work and the climate and shall be clean. The uniform shall also include cloth or synthetic covering for hands, feet, and head wherever required. Adequate facilities for personal cleanliness such as clean towels, soaps, and scrubbing brushes shall be provided. Separate provisions shall be made for lavatories to be used by men and women separately, and such lavatories shall be located at places separated from the processing rooms. So next is medical services. The manufacturer shall also provide adequate facilities for first aid and medical examination of workers at the time of employment and periodical checkup thereafter by a physician once a year, with particular attention being devoted to freedom from infections. Records thereof shall be maintained. So, and next is machinery and equipments for carrying out manufacturing, depending on the size of operation and the nature of product manufactured. Suitable equipment, either manually operated or operated semi-automatically or fully automatic machinery, shall be made available. So these may include machines for use in the process of manufacture, such as crushing, grinding, powdering, boiling, mashing, burning, roasting, filtering, drying, filling, labeling, and packing, etc. So next is batch manufacturing records. The license shall maintain batch manufacturing records of each batch of Ayurvedic, Siddha, and Unani drugs manufactured, irrespective of the type of product manufactured. And manufacturing records are required to provide an account of the list of raw materials and their quantities obtained from physical characteristics and the chemical test as may be necessary or indicated in the approved books of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani mentioned in the first schedule of Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940. And the manufacturing records and even by this obtaining from by physical characteristics and chemical test as may be necessary, we can conduct some chemical tests and we can also see some physical characteristics and Also, we can refer the standard or approved books for the Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani as per the schedule Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940. So next is the distribution of records. So records, so sale and distribution of each batch of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drugs shall be maintained in order to facilitate prompt and complete recall of the batch if necessary. The duration of record keeping should be the date of expiry of the batch. Certain categories of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines like Basma, Rasa, even Sindura, Karpura, Aswarishta, etc. do not have expiry date. In contrast, their efficacy increases with the passage of the time. Hence, records need to be maintained up to 5 years of the exhausting of the stock. So next is a record of market complaints. Manufacturers shall maintain a register to record all reports of market complaints received regarding the products sold in the market. The manufacturer shall enter all data received on such market complaints, investigations carried out by the manufacturers regarding the complaint, as well as any corrective action initiated to prevent the recurrence of the such market complaints shall also be recorded. So they have to record the market complaints by the manufacturer and even who is buying the goods and complaints. They have to be made the complaints, and manufacturers shall rectify the complaints, and also the complaint shall be recorded. So once in a period of 6 months, the manufacturer shall submit the record of the such complaints to the licensing authority. Reports of any adverse reaction resulting from the use of Ayurvedic, Siddha, and Unani drugs shall also be maintained in a separate register by each manufacturer. So next is quality control. Preferably for such quality control, there should be a separate expert. The quality control section shall have the following facilities. There should be 150 square feet area for quality control section. For identification of raw drugs, reference books and reference samples should be maintained. Manufacturing record should be maintained for the various process. And to verify the finished products, controlled samples of finished products of each batch will be kept for 3 years to supervise and monitor the adequacy of conditions under which raw materials, semi-finished products, and finished products are stored. Keep records in established shelf life and storage requirements for the drugs. Manufacturers who are manufacturing patent, proprietary of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines shall provide their own specifications and control references in respect of such formulated drugs. And even this quality control section maybe have own premises or through the government approved testing laboratories. The test shall be as per the Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani pharmacopoeia standard. Where the tests are not available, the test should be performed according to the manufacturer's specification or other information available. The quality control section shall verify all the raw materials, monitor its process, quality checks, and control the quality of the finished products being released to finished goods, a store or warehouse. And even the standards of identity, purity, and strength as given in the respective pharmacopoeias of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani systems of medicines published by Government of India shall be complied with. So all the standards as per the different pharmacopoeias of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani, and the standards of identity, purity, and strength should be complied with the other disease. So all the raw materials will be monitored for fungal, bacterial contamination with a view of its minimize such contamination. So quality control section will have a minimum of 1 person with a degree qualification in Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani as per Schedule 2 of Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. of recognized university or board, the person having degree qualification in Ayurveda or Siddha and Unani as per the Indian Medicine Central Council Act, and also where the person has studied, that university should have a recognition by the government of India or board, and also provided the bachelor before B Pharma graduate or even M Pharma graduate with the pharmacognizant phytochemistry in quality control department. So they can appoint the person who is having B Pharm qualification or M Pharm qualification with pharmacognizant phytochemistry department. So should be appointed with the quality control section, in the quality control section. So next is requirement for sterile product. So in this, again, classified into two types. Requirement for sterile products. One is manufacturing area, and second one is precaution against the contamination and mix. In manufacturing area, for the manufacturing of the sterile Ayurvedic, Unani and Siddha drugs, separate enclosed areas specifically designed for the purpose shall be provided. These areas shall be provided with airlocks for entry and shall be essentially dust free and ventilated with an air supply for all areas where aseptic manufacture has to be carried out. Air supply shall be filtered through the bacteria retaining filters like HEPA filters, HEPA filters, and shall be at a pressure higher than the in the adjacent areas. The filters shall be checked for performance on installation, and periodically thereafter the record of checks shall be maintained. For sterile manufacturing routine, microbial counts of Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani drug manufacturing areas shall be carried out during operations. So second one is precaution against the contamination and mix, carrying out manufacturing operation in a separate block of adequately isolated building or operating in isolated enclosure within the building, using appropriate pressure differential in process area, providing a suitable exhaust system in that particular sterile area, designing a laminar airflow sterile area, a sterile air system for sterile products. So they have to design the laminar airflow, that particular sterile air system area for the sterile products, and the germicidal efficiency of UV lamps shall be checked and recorded, indicating the burning hours are checked using intensity. Individual containers of liquids and ophthalmic solutions shall be examined against block white background filtered with the diffuse light after filling to ensure freedom from contamination with foreign suspended matter. Expert technical staff approved by licensing authority shall check and compare actual yield against theoretical yield before final distribution of the batch. So next, coming to the standard operating procedures. Standard operating procedures are SOP. Standard operating procedures are written documents specifying the procedures that must be followed to carry out the operation. So here again there are two types. SOPs are two types. One is benefits and second one is areas of application. So benefits outline the critical aspect of procedures and need not to rely on memory or word of mouth communication, prevent introduction of errors and variations, can be used to impart training the personnel, preparations of SOP, identify the potential problems and their solutions, thus improve planning and organization, eliminate need to redevelop the procedure every operational time. And second one is areas of application. So receipt of materials, equipments, sampling, batch lot numbering system, testing material and products at different stages of process, release or rejection of material and finished products, maintenance, cleaning and sanitization, environmental monitoring, test control and quality control procedures, complaints, recalls, and returns. So this completes the first part of the GMP guidelines. So we discussed the first part. Part one, as I told, part one and part two, two parts are there here. Part one under GMP is mainly factory premises and location and surroundings, buildings and water supply, disposal of waste, containers, cleaning, stores and raw materials of different types of raw materials storing and packaging materials, finished goods stores, working space, health, clothing, sanitation and hygiene of workers, medical services, again, two types in this, machinery and equipments, next batch manufacturing records, distribution of records, records of market complaints, and next quality control and requirements for sterile products. Again, there are two types, manufacturing area and precautions against contamination and mix and standard operating procedures. So in this, again, two types. One is benefits and second one is areas of application. So all these things belongs to the part one as per the GMP guidelines, part one. So next, let us discuss with the part two. So part two mainly, here we have to concentrate this area specifications, requirement for an applicant, company to have a GMP of all these Ayurvedic formulations, and mainly, so what type of formulations we are manufacturing, that category of medicine, and minimum manufacturing space required for the preparation of the medicines or Ayurvedic formulations, and what type of machinery or equipment is required to manufacture these Ayurvedic formulations. That all this comes under part two. So let us start with the number one, churna. Churna, one type of the Ayurvedic formulation, as we discussed already previous chapter. Churna belongs to the fine powder of the Ayurvedic formulation. It is a very fine powder of Ayurvedic formulation. The churna or nasya. So this, if you want to manufacture this churna, you want to prepare this churna, I think it requires minimum area is 200 square feet for the manufacturing of the churna, and machinery and equipment required for this churna is, one is grinder required, disintegrator required, and powder mixture required, sieves required, and shifter requires. So all these things are required for the preparation of the churna, and area is 200 square feet. And second one is pills or vatika or gutika. So vatika, gutika pills are the, again, solid dosage forms under Ayurvedic formulations, and they are the solidified dosage forms. And this vatika, gutika requires the 100 square feet area for preparation of these things, and required equipment or machinery is ball mill, mass mixer, power mixer, and vati cutting machine, stainless steel trays and containers for storage, dryers, and mechanized chutney. So all these things are required, equipments are required to prepare the pills, vatika or gutika. So next is asava and arista. Asava arista also we have discussed already. Asava is a fine powder obtained by the powder of a drug obtained by the fermentation, and similarly arista is a decoction of the drug prepared by fermentation using sugar, jaggery. So asava arista marketed preparations, I think, requires 100 square feet area to prepare asava and arista. And so here this asava and arista requirement, we require the some type of equipments. So just we require the stainless steel vessels and a patila flask and multi plasters of Paris copper rod, earthen containers require, even gazaput batti require, muffle furnace is required, and this muffle furnace electrically operated, and even edge runner is required, exhaust fan is required, wooden chambers are required to prepare the Asava and Arista. Area is 100 square feet. So next is tablets. Tablets belongs to the again solidified dosage forms, and to prepare tablets requires 100 square feet area, and again machinery equipment is ball mill, mass mixture, powder mixture, granulator, dryer, tablet, compression machine, and sugar coating polishing pan in case of sugar coated tablets, and mechanized chatty. So all this is required to prepare the tablets. So next is capsules. So for capsule preparation, I think area is 100 square feet, and your air conditioner, dehumidifier, hygrometer, thermometer, capsule filling machine, and chemical balances required for the preparation of the capsules. Apart from these things, we can also we have a basma preparation. I think we discussed already basma. Basma is also one of the Ayurvedic formulation. It is defined as the it is prepared by using the metals and minerals or metals by calcination method. By calcination method, we can prepare this basma, and they are from the metals or minerals. So by calcination, I think using the cow dung cakes, using cow dung cakes, we can prepare the basma. For basma preparation, we require the 100 square feet area, and machinery and equipment is curral, mechanized, motorized curral, end runner, ball mill, sieves, shifters. All these things are required to make the basma. So next is powdering of the raw materials. Area is 200 square feet. We can make powdering. We can make the powder or of the different raw materials. I think the requirements of the equipment is grinder, disintegrator, pulverizer, powder mixture, sieves, and shifter. So all these things are required to prepare the making powder or pulverization of the raw materials. So next is even Sindhura. Sindhura requires 150 square feet area, and equipment is copper rod, earthen container, and stainless steel vessels, and even flask, and edge runner, exhaust fans, and all this are required to prepare the Sindhura. So next is receiving and storing raw materials. So receiving and storing raw material requires the 200 square feet area. And next, quality control section, we require the 150 square feet area for quality control section. And the quarantine area or observation, we require 50 square feet area. So next is finished goods store, we requires 150 square feet area. And rejected goods store requires 50 square feet area. And the next Bati Puta area requires 200 square feet area, and area for water and washing 15 square feet, and office 100 square feet, and totally it comes 1500 square feet. All total this comes 1500 square feet for the preparation of the all Ayurvedic formulations under part 2. All this comes under part 2. So what are list of equipments recommended for in quality control department? So mainly in Ayurvedic drugs or ISM drugs or ASU drugs requires the chemistry section and pharmacognosy section. In under chemistry section, we require the alcohol determination apparatus, and volatile determination apparatus, boiling point determination apparatus, melting point determination apparatus, refractometer required, polarimeter is needed, viscometer is required, and similarly pharmacognosy section area. So we require the microscope, binocular, dissecting microscope, compound microscope, and even microtome is required, and physical balances are required, aluminum slide trays are required, stage micrometer, eyepiece micrometer, camera lucida, with the prism type or mirror type. So all these things are required under pharmacognosy section, and followed by chemistry section. So this is about the this today's topic. Today's topic is GMP, good manufacturing practices for the scheduled T drugs. So mainly they are divided into two types, two parts. They are divided into two parts. So part one is mainly factory premises, and part two is area and how much what area and how to manufacture or how to prepare the Ayurvedic formulations, and what are the recommended equipments for the preparation of the Ayurvedic formulations. That is part two. I think we've discussed. And what are the important list of equipments are for the quality control section. So now only we have discussed about the this important equipments for the quality control area. So this is about the schedule T drugs as per the GMP guidelines. And thank you.